The start of Germany takes place in 1871 with the end of the Franco-Prussian War. The German kingdoms led by Prussian Empire fought the Second French Empire in 1870 because the French wanted to establish dominance in Europe. This led to the fall of the Second French Empire and a unified Germany, or now known as the German Empire. The six kingdoms integrated into the German Empire are Prussia, Bavaria, Saxony, and Württemberg. In 1914, Austria-Hungary invaded Serbia after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophia. Germany joined the war in August of 1914 on the central side. On August 1st, Germany declared war on Russia. Then on August 3rd, they declared war on France. And on August 4th, Germany invaded Belgium, which prompted the UK to join the war. November 11, 1918 marked the end of the First World War. In June of 1919, the German Empire was forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles. The terms of the treaty forced Germany to take blame for the war, pay impossible war reparations, which were 132 billion gold marks, which are over $600 billion in today's U.S. money, military restrictions, which they could only have 100,000 man army and no air force. Also, some territorial losses. Some were given to France, Belgium, and Poland, creating the Polish corridor, which Germany hated, and Danzig became a free country under the League of Nations. Germany was also forbidden from unifying with Austria, with also colonial losses. Kaiser Wilhelm II abdicated the throne and was exiled to the Netherlands. He lived there for the rest of his life until his death on June 4, 1941. In August of 1919, the Weimar Republic was officially a country named after the German city of Weimar. It was under the presidency of Friedrich Ebert, who was the first president of the Weimar Republic until his death in 1925. After Friedrich Ebert died in 1925, Paul von Hindenburg was elected in April. He was a former World War I field marshal. He would be the president of the Weimar Republic until 1934. Paul von Hindenburg was elected in April of 1925 and was president of Germany until he died of lung cancer on August 2, 1934. He died in Poland and was initially buried at the Tannenberg Memorial, but was later removed in 1945 by Nazi troops and later reburied in St. Elizabeth's Church in Marburg, Germany. In 1935, the new German Air Force called the Luftwaffe was established, violating the Treaty of Versailles. In March, Adolf Hitler planned to rebuild the military to a 500,000-man army, which was violating the Treaty of Versailles again, which said they can only have a 100,000-man army. Adolf Hitler introduced the Nuremberg race laws. In 1936, Nazi Germany remilitarized the Rhineland, violating the Treaty of Versailles a third time. The Rhineland was meant to be a buffer zone on the border of France and Germany. In March 1938, they violated the Treaty of Versailles again, this time annexing Austria as part of the Anschluss, which was the fourth time the Treaty of Versailles was violated. During 1938, Nazi Germany also invaded the Sudetenland, the outside of Czechoslovakia, or what is now current-day Czechia and Slovakia. The rest of Czechoslovakia was invaded by the end of 1938. On September 1, 1939, Nazi Germany started a swift invasion of Poland using blitzkrieg, which in English translates to lightning war. This caused Britain and France to declare war on September 3, 1939. Hitler's invasion of Poland was successful. Poland surrendered on September 17, 1939, after the Soviet Union invaded from the east, splitting Poland down the middle between the Nazis and the Soviets. By 1942, almost every European country was invaded by Nazi Germany. The countries that Hitler decided not to invade were the countries of Switzerland and Sweden. In 1945, 1 year after the successful liberation of France, Allied forces made their way to Berlin, Soviets in the east, Americans and British from the west. Hitler presumably shot himself in the bunker, though conspiracy theorists say he could have escaped due to his body barely being found. A few days before Nazi Germany surrendered, they oversaw a new leader who was president for only a few days. Someone named Karl Dönitz was the one to finalize the Nazi surrender. After the Nazi surrender, Germany was split into tri-zone. United States, Britain, and France occupied western areas, and the Soviet Union took the whole eastern half of Germany. It would remain this way until 1949. In 1949, the British, French, and the United States united the western half, creating a democratic, capitalist western half of Germany, simply called Western Germany. The Soviets would have the eastern half, but it would become a communist buffer zone during the Cold War. In 1961, the Berlin Wall was built in order to keep the Eastern Germans in Eastern Germany. The wall was built by Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev, who took control in 1953 in a power struggle after the death of Joseph Stalin. It also started the Stasi, which is the East German secret police. In 1989, President Ronald Reagan famously said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." The Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev listened to Reagan, and the Berlin Wall fell, although East and West Germany wouldn't reunite until 1990 under President George Herbert Walker Bush.